So this is where old entertainers go to die.
Mm-hmm. And some not so old.
May I see that for a minute? Watch this.
What have you done?
I'm a magician. Should have explained that to you earlier.
Hello, welcome to What the Flick. I'm Christy, this is Alonso, that's Matt, that's Ben. We're gonna talk to you about the incredible Burt Wonderstone, which is not really all that incredible. Yeah. Please describe it to us.
Yeah, it's got a bad title. It's got a misleading title.
Right.
There's nothing.
Because it isn't.
Yeah, no, it is not. It's the story of two childhood friends, Steve Carell and Steve Buscemi.
Buscemi.
Buscemi?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Oh, look at that. Oh. It's the story of two childhood friends, Steve Carell and Steve Buscemi, and they connect in youth through their love of magic, and they become one of the biggest magic hits in Vegas. But then they're affected by the pains of stardom, and their relationship falls apart. And meanwhile, there's a David Blaine-like character, except he's white.
He's like Chris Angel, kinda.
I saw him as both, because he's got the street magician part. Yeah, there's a Chris Angel, David Blaine combo.
Yeah, because who doesn't want to see that?
Right. Played by Jim Carrey, who sort of rocks the magic boat to such an extent that it will thrill you, except it won't. Here's Burt Wonderstone.
They call me Mr. Worldwide. Listen, they call me Mr. Worldwide.
For 12 days, he's held his urine.
What is going through your mind? I really have to pee, Richard.
So the big problem with this is that they make Steve Carell just irreparably unlikable.
That's right.
Which is a pretty tough feat.
He's doing Michael Scott the whole time.
No, but worse, even more despicable.
Right,
I mean,
without any of the likable qualities.
There's nothing, vulnerable or pathetic about him. He's just a dick.
Right. No, I just felt like he was going to get a call from Jim Halpert to come back to the office. Like the whole time, I'm just thinking that he's not doing anything different here.
Well, but worse.
I didn't buy the whole thing of they're at the top of the heap in Vegas, and then suddenly it's all taken away, and he's in a cheap motel and doing tricks at an old folks' home. It's like Reno, Laughlin, Branson, Missouri. Like there are stages.
Everything was handled without any deftness at all. It was either you're on top, and it was a little inexplicable how on top they were. I mean, they have one great trick, the hangman trick, which they do. Like if I saw the hangman trick, I'd be like, well, that's great. But then, like the other thing, like they do some tricks that made them like the swords through the thing. Like we all know how that goes. Yeah. And then that was handled sort of without any careful planning, it seemed to me. And then the fact that he's such a putz, and we're supposed to believe this Olivia Wilde, another aspiring magician love interest.
Like, why waste her time with him?
She wouldn't be in any way interested in this guy.
But she's barely a person, and it's a huge waste of how beautiful and smart and funny Olivia Wilde can be.
And she winds up being one of the best things in the movie.
But barely.
But no, but she and Alan Arkin, as sort of the old school magician who had inspired Burt in the first place, I found them the most interesting because they were sort of underplaying it, whereas like Steve Carell and Jim Carrey were just doing these very kind of two-dimensional. No. It boils down to this: this movie's not funny.
No, it's not funny.
It's a comedy that is not funny.
Like same joke over and over again.
There's the occasional.
No, right. Yeah.
Arkin has the funniest moment in the movie, and he doesn't even say anything when he does it.
Which one?
When he gets recognized, he kind of does that. Like that was so unexpected.
He classes things up.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, it was. You're right, but that's the main thing. It's not funny.
This is that whole sort of like Will Ferrell thing of let's find people who are into something really nerdy and niche, but who take it very seriously. But it doesn't. I don't know if this movie knows if it wants to make fun of like glitzy Vegas style magic or defend glitzy Vegas style magic from the Chris Angels of the world.
I would guess the former. I'm guessing.
I think it's trying to do both.
You think so?
I think it's trying to do both, and it doesn't either. It doesn't do either very well.
I mean,
you can tell how we feel about this movie because we had just talked about the call, and we were all so excited to the point that after we stopped, we kept talking about it. This one, when we started talking about this, I'm like, oh, we got to talk.
Yeah, it's just it falls flat, and it's full of these talented people who we know are capable of being talented. I mean, and not even the Buscemis and the Steve Carells and Jim Carrey, who at times, of course, can dazzle and then
Sure.
and also disappoint. But I think mostly capable of dazzling, Jim Carrey. And then you got Gandolfini and Olivia Wilde too, and Gandolfini
Getting nothing.
Yeah.
And here's
His
what,
kid was-
amongst the things I thought were odd about this movie. There was a big deal about Gandolfini had studied and had gone and done a bunch of research
Oh, really?
in Vegas,
Oh, seriously?
and was hanging out
plays
with
like a Steve
and he
Wynn
plays
type
right,
character.
and he's hanging out with top guys at the casinos because he really wanted to like get in their heads. And I'm like,
Why
really?
bother?
Yeah, why bother?
Really?
I'm not seeing it.
Like, it's like, boy, did you bullshit your way into getting paid trips to Vegas for a while? Well done.
We should all do that. Hey, we're doing research.
And he was okay. There just wasn't. It was harmless.
It's a nothing roll.
Nothing
One
roll,
note
and there was
roll.
nothing to do with it. Yeah, I was.
And then he goes all nice and soft, right? He has to have his redemption, and it comes too little, too late. And we hate him so
Carrell.
much, right? And we don't care because we hate him so much. And the thing is, when he and Steve Buscemi are separated, it's like, fine, who cares? Like, what was there to save in the first
there's
place?
nothing at stake here, and the movie can't even commit to like being mean about anything because at the very beginning, like the first opening shot is this flashback of young Burt Wonderstone getting beaten up by bullies and then coming home and his birthday's alone, and the score is already this like minor key. You're like, oh god! So this movie is going to be. You want to be sentimental, but you also want to make this asshole that we don't like. There's a lot of things here that aren't working.
And he's an asshole for no reason.
Yeah,
he's
right.
an arbitrary asshole, and their division is arbitrary.
And there's a capability to make like an asshole magician big shot who thinks he's the most important person in the world in Vegas. Like that might be funny, right? But it just isn't.
Like in Will Ferrell's hands, that guy's always funny.
He's just kind of a dull asshole.
Go ahead, Jim.
I've had people compare this movie, or they say that it looks like what was the movie about the models? Zoolander, right? People have talked about, oh, this looks like Zoolander. Zoolander is 1,000 times better because it's so much more insane. I think that the biggest problem with this movie, it doesn't go
I'm already
nearly
laughing at Zoolander.
right. This movie,
Just to remember it.
years ago.
this movie doesn't go anywhere as far as it needs to go.
Yeah.
You know, along the lines of like Anchorman, right? I mean, this movie needed to be completely over the top, and they milquetoast it. Like it's just.
Yeah. I think we know where we stand. I gave it a 3.5, and that feels a little high.
I can't remember what I gave it.
You gave it a 2.
Oh, that's nice of me. A 2.
Yeah, I give it a 4, and that's feeling generous.
I gave it a 4. So
Right,
they played
so-
a trick on me.
We come in at about right. We come in at 3.4 for Don't Waste Your Time.
And the score on the tomato meter is about 40%.
Yeah, go see The Call twice.
Bye.